Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Human Services Commission meeting. And if I could have you all please stand, I'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance to an invisible flag. How about the one on this page?
Great idea, sorry.
Okay, that's a good one. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And welcome, Carrie. We generally go around the room and say our names and anything else you'd like to add, but we do have some additional people in the room today, so I'd like to welcome you as visitors and also participants, and a new member, which as we go around, you can say who you are. I'm Laura Inserto, Chair of the Human Services Commission.
I'm Julie DeMarco, Human and Social Services Director.
I'm Joy Nazaro, and I'm part of the Friends Board for the Senior Center.
And tell us, please, what the Friends Board does.
The Friends Board, I'll read our mission statement to
Great.
make it official. Friends of the Bigelow Center for Senior Activities is a 501c3 nonprofit volunteer organization. The mission of the Friends is to provide funding for enhancements to the programs, services, and facilities of the Senior Center of Fairfield, Connecticut. In addition, the organization hosts fundraising events, promotes community awareness, and supports the Senior Center through advocacy initiatives.
Yeah. Excellent. Welcome. Thank you. And we'll get your report down on the agenda. Okay.
Hi, I'm Gwen Palmer, the Newman Center. Happy to be here.
And tell us where you live. And
I live in Fairfield my whole life, on Chelsea Street and off of Upper North Pine Creek Road. And
she's been a lifelong Fairfield citizen and three lovely boys.
I went to school here, and I was telling Julie that when the school opened, I was the first class. So that probably makes it more special.
Yeah?
No.
Perfect. And yeah, thank you. I really appreciate your enthusiasm.
Where the gazebo is in town.
That was first.
That was school? Yeah.
Roger Sherman. My father went there.
School.
My dad went there.
And it was a beautiful big brick building, and it had big windows and all beautiful hardening floors.
Wow.
And it was the sad thing when that got torn down, the sort of a parking lot.
Yeah.
Or a gazebo. Yeah.
Well, welcome, Gwen. Gwen is going to be officially sworn in on November 28th, but I asked her to be here today because I thought it would be great for her to see what we do and how we do it.
So be good. I'm going to change my mind.
I don't think Brenda will let you. Okay.
So ready to change.
I'm Marty Schwartz. I'm a member of the commission. I'm told I'm also the advisor or liaison with the Commission on Disabilities.
And we're thrilled about that.
Perfect fit.
Thank you for that.
Brenda Steele.
Melinda Johnson, Social Services Coordinator.
I'm Joe Krejci, member of the Commission.
Carolyn Durkee, Commissioner.
Suzanne Testani, Vice Chairman of the Commission.
Mm-hmm. Great. Just to swing back to Melinda, I think I may have referred friends of mine who are having some hardships in town. And is that what your perusal does? So I don't know who handled them, but thank you. And that's something, when we get down on the agenda, as far as having speakers in the future, we always welcome you guys to come back and reiterate what you do, because it's really important. So thank you for joining us.
I'm sorry to talk over you. When we had the budget and the full-time positions were passed, that was Brenda and Melinda. So Melinda is full-time in social services, which is great because the continuity of care and assistance is imperative.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Melinda. Nice to meet you face to face. Yeah. So it's interesting how, thank you, you gave Joy your mission statement. Julie thought it might do us well before each meeting to just review our mission statement, which I think is really important because not only reinforces what we do in our own minds, but we can tell other people. When you say you're on the Human Services Commission, people are like, what does that mean? Well, this gives a really succinct definition of who we are and what we want to do. So I'm going to ask us all as a group to recite it, if that's okay. It's right on your agenda.
Wonderful.
And I think that it would be a good way to start. And it is, by the way, as recommendation because the Commission on Disabilities does that before their meeting. So we thank them for that.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a new commission too, and, you know, they go in a lot of different directions, so it's kind of a refocus.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so the Human Services Commission shall be the policy-making body for the Department of Human Services. The Human Services Commission and the Human Services Department are responsible for services to elderly and disabled residents of Fairfield. The Commission studies community human service issues across all age and income groups, provides a public forum for citizen input, and makes recommendations to the Human Services Department and the First Selectmen people. Yeah. Whatever. Got to get rid of that man thing. So thank you. And anybody have any comments, questions?
I do.
Okay.
I know that our charter did not go, but when we were working on the language of the charter, we expanded our mission statement to include things other than just the elderly and disabled. And I was wondering if we could do that in the mission statement. I mean, who changes the mission statement?
It would be in the charter. So we have to wait until the charter is.
Okay, so we
voted on.
can't do it until the charter is
Exactly.
changed. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Just out of curiosity, what was the expansion of that?
Well, we included things like veterans and youth and
All ages.
when anybody, and we tracked what basically the state statutes had
Right.
delegated or relegated down. And so it was much more expensive. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Do we have any idea of what the future of that charter revision is going to be yet?
Nope.
We have to wait 3 years, I guess, right?
That I don't know. So, but maybe after we can talk about that.
Yeah,
Because it's not really it.
Okay. So did everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes? If I can have a motion,
Motion to approve the minutes.
second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass. Thank you. And Sheila is not with us, who takes these great minutes, and I always thank her because she's amazing. So thank you, Sheila. So if we could, I'd like to move on to our old business, which Carolyn Derby, could you please give us an update on the Board of Health?
Well, for us, there really was no update in terms of the seniors itself, but I did find out that Fairfield County is the worst for the flu right now, and we're not having any flu clinics from the health department yet.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I can tell you.
And what exactly would a flu clinic be? Shots?
Yes.
Okay.
We had one back in October, right?
Yeah, but I believe, I just wasn't
Yeah.
at work.
Yeah, they're having another clinic. I just don't remember when.
I think it's just they can contact the health department if they want shots.
Yeah. Usually I try to call Sam's on a Thursday morning because our meeting is like 3 weeks before we come here. And he wasn't available today, so I got on the health website, the secretary sent me to that, so that's how I found that. And the highest group for the flu right now in the state is 70 to 79 ages, age 70 to 79 for the flu.
I hate to say it, but you kind of don't sound good. Did
No,
you?
I don't.
I know. You don't have it that way.
No, she doesn't.
I wouldn't be here.
I hope you're okay, though. Did you have the flu and you're getting
No.
over it? No, you just have like a
No,
cold.
it just is what it is right now.
Yeah.
No
okay.
fever, no nothing.
Good. Yeah. Good. No, a lot of people
Yeah.
have
gotten it, yeah. My cousin's in Wallingford with what they called influenza, which is basically the flu.
What's that other acronym? I want to say RSV.
Yeah, RSV.
What's going on with that?
That's a bronchial upper respiratory.
That's all over the schools.
And they don't give anything for it. No. Hey, Barbara.
Hello, sorry.
Okay, Carolyn, well, thank you so much for that report. I would like to give a really great report, which is the Veterans Day celebration breakfast we had last Thursday, which I think actualized all of Julie's dreams to really put a veteran focus in full swing for not only the Human Services Department, but our town. It was amazing. It was a wonderful turnout. I think it was sold out.
It was.
I would say a good number of the Purple Heart recipient people were able to come. I think there may have only been one because we did the checkout that didn't actually make it. And it was so well done as evidenced in this program. I mean, this program just knocks it out of the park. It's just beautiful, and it was made such an impression. And the committee, thank you all in this room who served on it, and those that aren't, I want to thank you through the minutes, that it just was such a team effort. Brenda just was amazing, bringing it all together, being there. And Suzanne got us the rental tablecloths and the napkins and brought them in, and we all got together and set up, and it couldn't have been better. And the flowers provided by the Friends, the food by Chips. I mean, I could go on for a half an hour. I know you don't want me to.
Don't forget the invocation.
The invocation by Barbara was amazing.
It was
amazing. Do you have it on you? I would love for you to recite it for everybody. It was tremendous, really. I just think the room was riveted by the ceremony, by the presentation. He was amazing. I mean, in fact, he was such a great speaker. And who we're referring to is Thomas J. Sadi, who is the Commissioner of the Connecticut Department of Veterans. And he was so impressive. He had a prepared speech, but I will tell you, most of it, he did not read it. He was so good. And we'll talk about him later, maybe in our speaker recommendations. But Julie, I mean, I just can't tell you enough how well done it was. And thank you for bringing that to us to be able to participate with you.
That's nice for a flag, but we couldn't have done it without all of you were there.
Yes.
And all of you sat at different tables and met our seniors and met, some of the different commissioners or the Friends. It really all just worked.
I had a ball at my table.
Yeah,
I had a young
lovely.
man, I had a young guy at my table,
Yeah.
a 20-year-old was
so
into his great-grandfather.
Right? Yeah. It was nice. And I think the food was great. We hired caterers, as you saw, to serve because we couldn't envision it. That was all jammed, but without Brenda.
And it was hot and delicious. Did we write a thank you note to Chip? Good, okay. So I would like to do that.
We provided,
Yeah.
whatever they.
It was crazy good.
And the Friends covered the cost of it.
Oh, very nice.
I have to say, the service, this blew me away. They brought out the food, and then, on the plate, there was bacon and a sausage, and whoever served came back over to me and said, "Oh, no, Rabbi, we will change your plate because we didn't mean to serve you the bacon." And
Isn't that lovely?
So sensitive.
Wow, that was.
They even noticed or cared.
Right. That is nice.
So I don't know who the servers were, but I was.
Well, they were
really
older, and I
very
thought
impressed.
initially it was going to be students.
Were they
I think it was a nice group.
Yeah.
They were from the theater?
No, we
No, they hired.
Yeah, but boy.
Well worth it.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
But thanks, that was great. Thank
There
you
was
all of
also
you for coming.
downstairs, a little container.
They kept coming down.
But when there wasn't us, it was good.
It was.
Yeah, so it was well done, and I guess my question is the Purple Heart breakfast something we would do every year or change it up? What do you
Well,
think?
we typically do just veterans. I think the wall looks beautiful. I'm not in any rush to take that down. I think the town is going to try to figure out a permanent memorial, but I think each year, I'm not sure we would just do Purple Hearts. I think we could just open it to all veterans. This was a special year.
That would be great.
We did say no to a lot of people, a lot of, senior center members who couldn't get in. And that's okay, because we do a lot for them.
Right.
Just a question, would you ever think about moving the venue to another location to be able to do it in a bigger?
No, I would not, and here's why.
I'm
Brenda's taken everything I have. Usually I say, nope.
Yeah.
Because it's not the main celebration for the town. The town does the concert the night before and then the ceremony at Town Hall. So this is just a senior center celebration.
Okay.
And then we don't want to detract from what they do for the town.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks for
One
asking.
thing, if I may interrupt,
Yes.
you and I met, who was the coordinator who will be in this building,
Ramon.
Oh, he was lovely, yes.
and he was very nice. So, I forget, what was his last name?
Augusto.
And so he will be physically in this building
Yeah.
here as a liaison with the town, is that what he's?
He's our region's, Department of Veterans Affairs rep, so for the entire congressional district. So he's got 2 staff members and himself who will be in our tech room. That'll be their permanent satellite office.
That's great.
It is great.
And
I thought he
will
would be good to
coordinating
speak to us
things
at
for
some
the
point.
district or for the state, I'm sorry?
For our region, for the
For our
congressional
region,
district, yeah.
Okay.
So he'll be out on the road a lot, and his staff will be here, but it is a real, it's a benefit for us to have them in the building, because, Melinda can talk a little bit about that when she does updates if you have questions, but, we refer a lot to him. There's a lot of paperwork and aid and attendance, all of those benefits we know just the surface information about, so we send a lot of people directly to him for that paperwork. So to have him here is great.
Good.
We don't know when that's going to start, but soon.
What is our congressional district? I don't even know. Is there a number or something?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the fourth.
The 4th? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. Anybody else have any comments, questions, anything about the breakfast?
Very nice.
I just thought the honor focus poster was fantastic.
Awesome.
Everybody just walked up there and started reading on it,
Yeah.
and just was, just amazed
Mhm.
at the stories.
Yeah.
I agree with
And I
that.
thought it was just really
Very well done, yeah. And you guys paid for that too, for the materials and the frames and everything, or was that senior center?
That was us.
You guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you again. So Joy, why don't you segue into a Friends update for us? Please.
We met today, we're going to be having our annual meeting next month. And just to give you some idea of some of the things that we've done in the past, during the pandemic, we bought the patio chairs and tables that you see outside, planters and patio entrance filled with mums and seasonal flowers from time to time, flower boxes, card tables and chairs. So there's a lot of, different things that we've purchased for the center. Emergency bags for homebound seniors, and then for, events and fundraisers. We've done cabarets with singers. We more recently had the ukulele group up, and people love that. That was a fun type thing. St. Patrick's Day celebration we have every year. We'll be doing some holiday baskets for raffles coming up in December, and we're hoping to do some more evening speakers coming up. So that gives you a little flavor of what some of the things that we do.
So Joy, who's actually the Friends? I'm just curious, the organization, it's just a bunch of...
It's a board, yes, volunteers, totally volunteers, all seniors that are members here, and we get together trying to put together, whatever, work with Julie and Brenda with regard to what is needed at the center and try to fulfill those projects and programs.
And how does it work in terms of your leadership? Is it an annual turnover of leadership?
We're having new elections next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have terms or?
They're typically a year, but because of the pandemic, things got extended, so it got a little muffled and so forth. So now we're trying to get back on an even keel and have our elections on a regular basis and so forth.
Okay. And if anybody wants to contribute, donate, I usually do every year. It would be great if anybody from the commission would like to give to the
And we're
Friends.
looking for additional members. Right now we have 7.
I would love to use a special basket for you. I love doing them.
Oh, okay,
Big and
great.
beautiful.
Great, thank you.
Great.
Wow.
And let me know when.
That'll be for Brenda. Yeah, we'll get to that, yeah.
I just did them for my church.
Oh, that's
I setting
wonderful.
that up on Friday, so whatever you,
Good.
I love
Great.
them. I
Wow.
got shrink wrap and everything.
Never have enough shrink
It's
wrap.
amazing. Thank you, I appreciate it. They come out really pretty, and they make money, which is the good thing.
We do appreciate everything you do,
Okay.
Joy, thank you, and for
And
being
thank you for
here.
having me here.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice that you came.
All right, so under new business, I asked Julie to add, again, we had talked at a couple meetings ago about, what speakers would we like to see join us and talk to us about what they do. I think it would be great to have Ramon at some point. That was going to be one of my suggestions, so thank you for bringing that up, Joe. I always bring up Marie Allen. So
We can
that
try.
would be really great to have Marie from SWACA.
I know her.
Which, that's the focus on locally, what they do for seniors. And there's so much that they do that it'd be great to have her come. But I don't want to be a hog, so you're next,
Okay, I'm just thinking Operation Hope.
okay? Anything else?
I thought about the new superintendent of the public school system. Do you think he would give us some time? Mr. Testani?
Yeah. Your Goomba.
Yes, from Trumbull
Mhm.
and from Frosinone, Italy, both.
Carolyn?
I don't have any suggestions at this time.
Okay.
I think I'd like to have Irvin, John Wynn, if we could have them for the
So,
senior.
Fairfield Senior Advocate?
Yeah, that was great.
He's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I think we could use them.
Such a plethora of knowledge that
Really
man.
good.
How about you, Barbara?
I thought about, of course, when my clergy I don't know what's going on with the Fairfield clergy. I was pretty active during COVID, and then it seemed like I haven't been as connected, so I don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, I don't either.
And,
Do you know who's in charge of it now?
it's still, I think, what's her name?
Alita Ward?
Alita Ward,
Alita,
whatever.
She used to be a
we missed
commissioner,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, she was on the commission.
Yeah, but as I said, I really haven't. And then whatever happened with the training and everything with the police that on like active shooters and all that.
Yeah, we had that. So maybe we do have them come in and, I don't know that they would do a training, but they could talk about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, because it unfortunately continues to be an issue.
I can't even believe the horror show on what's going on.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
The University of Virginia.
Awful.
University of Idaho.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it like just resonates, like my cousin's son is at Virginia Tech, so I immediately thought of him.
Right.
And he's a manager of football, and she said they're traumatized at Virginia Tech because of UVA.
And they're playing them this weekend.
I know,
Right.
it's just, so it really is a very good subject matter, so that's great. Thank you, Barbara. Melinda, do you have anything that you think we could benefit by, except for folks from your department, obviously?
I have to give it a little bit more thought. I'm sure I could think of someone that's just, but I can't.
Okay, that's great. Brenda?
I was actually thinking Fairfield Senior Advocate as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's appropriate enough, but what about elected officials, either Brenda Kupchak or Tony Wong was just re-elected, or, any of the local elected officials, and talk with them what their view is of the future as it relates to seniors and people with disabilities, et cetera.
Good idea.
So with the elected officials, we invite everybody at the same time, so we don't, show favorites, in terms of the, House
with
and
Brenda,
Senate,
you wouldn't have to worry about that,
Exactly,
of course.
exactly. But for, we invite Kristen, Jen, and,
Tony Wong and-
Sarah, and Tony.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And by the way, Kristen did an amazing job at
She
the
really, really
breakfast.
did.
Wow, it was a compelling
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah,
She
she
was
was a
a
tearjerker.
And her mom,
Her
yeah.
mom was at my tent, she was so sweet.
Loved
Yeah,
her.
she was cute.
Stephanie, yeah. Great, anything else, Marty?
No.
Okay, excellent. Loretta?
Maybe to tap into what Barbara talked about was in
terms of the police CIT, and now how does CIT play in with seniors? I know it's for people with disabilities or mental illness or someone who may present differently or more challenging work, maybe needed. So I don't know if there's a tag team or a combo or.
Yeah, we could ask one of the officers. Yeah, that could be interesting.
And the other thought I had would be building our awareness in terms of social safety nets. So beyond what, I'm sorry, Melinda, hi Melinda, like 211 and other sorts of, besides Operation Hope, safety nets that we have in the community, so we're aware and what are the steps.
Okay. Okay, so resources, pretty much.
Resources, yeah.
I wonder if that's something that you and your team could present.
That's a good idea, yeah.
It would be beneficial if that was the case than to wrap in the Operation Hope component of it, or have Operation Hope as a standalone. I don't know. There's thinking about what the net, the network and continuing those services that are available.
Okay.
Actually, just made me think of, I know there's a Connecticut chapter of the AARP. Are we ever involved with them in any way?
We are. We could see if they want to come.
I mean, we're part of Connecticut. Seems like we're fit in.
But would Marie focus on that at all?
No, it's
okay.
some different stuff. Good point, but
yeah. Good idea, yeah. Gwen, how about you? Any thoughts?
I'm wondering, is this to talk to us as a group?
Yes.
Or not the Cedar Citizen Center group?
Right.
No.
Just us, as a commission.
How would it benefit us, although I'd be very curious as to what Barbara was saying, but how would it benefit us? Where would we go with this information?
Just knowledge, and sometimes we can think of initiatives off of what we've learned for us to focus on.
And maybe spread, our knowledge maybe to beneficial sources.
Exactly.
To inform our policy making, or making decisions.
Yes,
right. It definitely can.
To inform us as we think about what the human services.
I think this is a top priority. I really do. It's terrible. It could be anywhere. It could be right here.
Right.
It's so terrible. I love that idea.
Okay.
Council of Churches, have you ever talked with them?
No.
Now you're talking about the
And
clergy
who's
group?
the new person, because I know Cass is gone.
Yeah, I don't know who the
And
new
some
president is.
gentleman took over for her, I think, but I was part of that Tent of Abraham, and Cass was running it, and then it kind of fell apart, and she left, and I don't know who's there.
They
now.
just elected, and I saw it, but it didn't resonate with me, so I'll have to find out who that is.
I have a meeting and she'll be there tomorrow, so I can ask her.
What's tomorrow?
It's a United Way emergency food and shelter.
Sometimes they're good to come too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions of who you think we benefit by?
She just made it.
United Way, yeah.
Yes and no. I don't know that United Way would be that interesting right now. They do have a new head of our region. They could be okay, I think. No, I don't have anybody else that everybody hasn't added. I think the police one is a really, really good idea. Especially because when we went to a training, that was an all-day training that somebody came from Secret Service, and it was very long, and the whole department went, and probably it was a little dramatic on my part, but I thought it was important information. But the town approach to mass casualty events or active, it's not even active shooters anymore, it's active threat. It was scary but good. It really informs how we're handling things in the building. So I thought that was great. I love that idea.
Do we know what the schools are doing about this?
They have a very robust plan. There's, I'm not privy to all the details of it, but they do have a really good plan. Yeah.
I think he could, and also the police. If we bring them in, they would probably be able to address it on a broad range for all the schools.
Right. And I do think when the police hire their social worker, I would like to have that social worker come in too.
Okay. Yep, the police department just got approval to hire a full-time social worker, which is great. Yes.
Yeah.
Were you gonna talk about that in your?
No, that was it, no.
Okay.
Pretty much it, saying that was happening.
Okay. Anything else on speakers? Thank you all for those great suggestions, because it helps
One thing I
to
would suggest,
invigorate our
I
meeting.
know you didn't mention anything, Carolyn, but I'd be curious if somebody from the health department
Great idea.
was
Okay.
here. I don't know who the right person would be, but I would
Mhm.
think just to round it out. that
Yeah, good idea.
would be,
You could also, think about Carol Martin from the Fairfield Housing Authority.
Good idea. She has been in my tenure, she's come once, and you're right.
I thought-
Remember we went on the tour
Yeah.
of that place on Beacon View, next door to Beacon View, is it?
No, I don't think I went, no, it's High Street.
Oh, I
They
went
have-
to Beacon View. Those homes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. But the one they were working on now is at High Street, that was that little farm,
Okay.
and that got shot down a little bit by the conservation
Yeah.
department, but I have no idea how that's doing now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be great to have her here.
That might be something, you know.
Is something fun also something you would want to be interested, like, would we get any benefit out of maybe having someone come talk to us about, like, the Fairfield Community Theater and how they could engage seniors, or,
I'm sure.
I don't know, I'm just wondering. I have a
It's
friend
up to
who
you guys.
serves on the board. Does that interest anybody?
I would
Anybody
think- I would
know
think
much
the
about it?
Historical Society in the same vein.
Love
something
it.
like that, just in context.
That's a great idea.
Probably the
Of
best
culture.
secret.
The Fairfield
And
Historical.
and the people that work there make great presentations.
Yeah.
Okay.
People from the library. Libraries do so much, they have programming, they
And there's a new
so much
director
more
there.
than just books.
That would be good,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Nobody likes my idea. of
So
the
we're
theater.
set for the next 5 years.
That's because it's Sacred Heart.
And no Fairfield, you.
We won't do it then. Okay, great.
Laura,
We're
how
gonna
about
be
the
busy.
Fairfield Senior Advocates? You know, they're talking about different types of dwellings now.
Yep, we've got him on the list, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
And so are you available to the fact that you know you can come to this meeting every month as a visitor?
Okay.
Or anybody from the Friends?
Okay.
Just so you know, we welcome you.
We're happy you're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and we always get to have
Yeah,
someone, and for a while,
Yeah.
so
Went to the
great.
wayside.
Absolutely. All right, Miss Julie, department update.
So I'm gonna have both Melinda and Brenda talk about the different areas that they're having. I know I had something that I was gonna say, I'm gonna introduce that and then hand it over to you, but I have no idea what that was, so I'm gonna be thinking while you're doing it. So how about we start with Melinda?
So, we are in, full swing for the holidays, holiday giving program. And during COVID, we switched from, actually, I started the year of COVID, so I never saw it before, but my understanding is that, we would have shoppers and a lot of gifts, and during COVID, we switched to gift cards, which just was much more manageable. It really, from what I understand, made it a big.
Was that what George managed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, tons of donors, you know, the town has been so generous, and a lot of recipients, unfortunately. So we're doing that, and that will keep us busy through, the new year. In addition, the energy season is underway, and has been actually since September, and that will continue really through May, June. There are a couple of different programs that we sort of mediate the application process because it is cumbersome. Some of them people can't even access on their own, even though they're supposed to, but that's a long story. So even for people who are able-bodied and competent, you know, we've been doing a lot of the applications this year because the portals just are not user-friendly. You know, there are, as I said, there are a couple of different programs, and then for people who are just, you know, a little bit over income, we have other funds with which we can assist, limited, but you know, we try to help for those folks who are sort of on the bubble. Snow shoveling will happen if it snows and the volunteers show up. So Julie has actually been working on that. I can't take any credit at all. So we'll see if it snows. So that's sort of what we're mostly busy with now. And then, of course, we get a lot of calls every day. People asking for resources and referrals.
Great. Do you handle the Medicare open window enrollment?
I do not. I hope never to happen.
Who's responsible for handling that?
Swapping.
Yeah, Swapping.
Yeah, it's just the volunteers.
How about renters rebate? Do you have to handle that too?
I have to.
Okay.
But we get a lot of calls about it. So
Right. So you
that and
what is that? What is that?
relief, all that kind of
It's a rebate on rent, right?
I never heard of it. And what is it? What's involved with it?
And it's only a certain time of the year, right?
It is only a certain time of the year. It's
Time
kind
of
of
the year.
I don't refer that many people. I probably should refresh. I think at one time I kind of knew what it was about, but we don't get asked that frequently, and to tell you the truth, we don't. Actually, I guess in the newsletters that we do put something in there.
Maybe people are calling over there then.
Right.
Maybe they know where to call.
Well, they probably are because we have a quarterly newsletter
They
that
call
goes
to them.
something in during the appropriate time frame. So, yeah.
Yeah, like food stamps. Where do they call for that?
DSS, but not this. I mean,
Department,
frankly,
yeah.
we get a lot of calls because the name is confusing. And they think they're calling the state Department of Social Services, but it's the state. not-
It's gonna be amazing how many seniors are gonna be applying for that because of the inflation.
Mhm.
You go to the grocery store and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so DSS.
Mhm.
Do you handle the real estate tax program for seniors and getting, that's not, that's
Now
not,
it's tax stuff.
not the tax?
That's the assessor's office.
Oh, the assessor's office?
In this town.
Okay.
Yeah, not every town. Handling.
Okay, you're on.
The SWACA was here to do the Medicare enrollment, so we do work with them as they come. They were
That's a big job.
This week, yeah.
Very big job.
Do they come back again or only once?
No.
We have a regular volunteer who will make appointments with people who call, and she sees people, not every day, but at least a few a week.
And she's incredible.
She is.
And she's available all year. I mean, really
Yeah.
busy now, but available all year for questions. She is such a great asset.
Sure. Good.
Great.
Hold on to her. Very good.
I know.
She's been doing it for years. I can see a volunteer luncheon coming up. A volunteer recognition luncheon.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We had no volunteers there.
So things are going well with the senior center, coming up to, year end, and we're really happy with how the year went. A lot of, new programs introduced and membership is going up and up, which is really exciting. We're very happy about that. We are having a basket raffle in December. Anyone would like to donate a basket,
Sure.
the Human Services Commission together would like to donate a basket. But that's a really fun event, and all the groups in the senior center donate, senior providers donate, and then we will have the basket raffle. Cindy Bigelow usually comes to do the raffle, which is always a lot of fun. It's a big event. And that, any funds raised, go to the Bigelow Center for us, and we...
When is that raffle?
It's going to be on December 20th, I believe.
I know I bought tickets last year, but I
It'll be in the
didn't.
December newsletter, which will be out early.
When do you need the items, Brenda?
Tuesday, December 7th?
I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, I think I put.
And you're all more than
I
welcome
would
to
like
come, it'd
us-
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would like us to donate a basket.
I'll tell you.
What will we
Yeah,
have
I'd
to do
love
to
to
have
have
the
you all
commission
come.
donate a
Well,
basket?
I asked Suzanne if she would coordinate that so she would get items from us, but like we would have to
What
pick a
items are
theme.
you talking about?
Like, pick a theme.
Well, we have to,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and are we gonna do liquor or no
Right.
liquor,
Right.
Liquor usually brings the money in, but I don't know if that's okay with you.
Works for me.
Just can't open it in the building.
God only knows.
We have to, it wasn't allowed in public buildings in
Bring
Greenwich.
anything of a,
Well, Suzanne's gonna coordinate it, so she'll get in touch with all of us and say, what would each of us like to donate
It has
to
to
the
be great.
basket?
And I get it from you, I'll put it together.
Great, yeah.
We can decide on a theme, sure.
Yep, and if anybody has like a really cool basket or container that you you know, have been looking at in your house and like, what do I do with this
And I'll
thing?
canvas in the
Yeah.
town to get something to go with a gift card.
Oh,
With
that's
every
great.
theme, it's
That'd be nice.
official theme, we'll have a fewer. Yeah, I used to.
That's a great
knock
idea.
on a lot of doors,
And the
believe me.
event is on, Tuesday, December 20th at 12:30. We'll have entertainment, by Joe Utterbach, who's one of our entertainers, and, so it should be a really great day. So you're,
Fun.
of course, welcome to anything.
Exactly.
Please come and newsletter.
Yes,
It's not out yet. No, that's November.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're also going to have reflections on Hanukkah on Thursday, December 8th.
Nice.
It's early,
Yeah.
early in
This
the
year.
year.
Right, yeah, but, yeah, so other than that, really
The December newsletter isn't ready yet.
not quite ready. Still got a couple red marks on there. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Hopefully by tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work doing the newsletter, Brenda, a lot of
You
work.
have to do it, Brenda?
Lot of
With the help of-
She does have to.
Yeah. Her job.
You started early in the month and you go back and back and back and back, right, to make sure all the dates and the times.
Oh, yeah. Usually always one next.
Always one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you do a good job. We appreciate it.
Round of applause.
I do have two things I remember with the work. We're in the middle of budget season, not even in the middle of presenting it, but in the middle of doing the budgets. We're rearranging a couple things. When it's done, I'll bring it in to show you. We're waiting to hear about whether or not part-timers get an increase in their hourly rates. That's not something we decide, that's something the town decides. And we are rearranging some of the funds, some that we don't use, like mailing, to use somewhere else. But because we're bringing in revenue now with the membership fees and the out-of-town fees, we're hoping to be able to kind of offset some of those costs with what we're bringing in. But it's not final yet, it's just discussion part right now. The other thing is the bathrooms that are out to bid. We think they'll start February or March, and it's all three sets, the one down by the office, these two hall ones, and the ones down by the gym, to have all accessible and clean and new. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, so I'm not sure when that's starting. We have to come up with a plan for how we'll stagger that work and how we'll do the workarounds, and whether or not we can be in the building, depending on what they find in the wall. But those are the two big things for the building. And the patio, you probably noticed the patio's done.
Yeah.
Looks very nice.
It does, it's beautiful. And the Friends initially, a couple years ago, they gave us a beautiful set of like 4 tables and chairs to go out there. And they were able to get the same tables and chairs so that we have 16 sets, maybe or 12 sets, that will go on all of the patios. So outside will be uniform and look lovely with umbrellas.
Nice.
Nice.
Great.
Any questions? Okay.
Like any public comment? I just want to make one note. Obviously, we met 3 weeks prior in this month because we have a holiday next Thursday, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody here and your families. And next month, we'll meet December 15th in lieu of Christmas being the following week. So just make a note of that, please. And if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion, Madam Chairman.
Second?
Chairwoman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right.